Angela and I were wondering the other day, do you have perfect pitch?
I don't think so.
You were tuning this guitar, like, just by ear, and it wasn't just like an open D tuning, you were probably doing some crazy stuff.
I think I don't know. Maybe I'm good at remembering the notes.
Yeah, okay.
And
sure.
I guess you kind of use the notes that you're already at to kind
Okay.
of like.
Well, we diagnosed you with perfect pitch on the night.
I don't. I feel like some days I can guess notes, and then some days I get it.
Oh, I should
wrong,
have bought a keyboard. We can like try
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Well, tell us a bit about your musical beginnings. Like, how did it all start? When did you first pick up a guitar or write a song?
I started in primary school. There was a man named Ricky Wilkinson who came round sort of local primary schools and came with some lads who were a bit older and had been in his group for a while. And I listened to them play, and I'd never really done any music beforehand.
How old are you at this point, do you think?
I think I was probably in like year 3.
Okay, so very young, yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I want to learn guitar. My mum was actually a bit dubious whether I'd be able to do it at first because I've always had like quite a shaky hand. It's worse if I'm like concentrating on
Oh,
something.
really?
I'm much better at managing it now, but I don't think she thought I could do it. But
Was it a problem early on, playing chords?
there was a period where I struggled performing because I used to get quite anxious, and that would make it worse. But I've sort of got much better at managing that over the years. But anyway, I wanted to join, and it was like a folk group, so we did sort of popular folk classics. I mean, anything from like the Beatles to like Simon and Garfunkel.
Okay. Well, tell us more about when you got into sort of writing songs. That was your initial introduction to music.
Writing songs, I never really had much confidence in it until I think the first song I wrote that I was semi like pleased with was like when I did my A levels, but before it was sort of a while before that I got into I was quite big on the electric guitar and quite big on recording, so I got into composing quite young, like sort of sitting on Logic. On the computers at school.
So not necessarily songs, but like scores.
So I used to just make bits of music. It was often like quite guitar based, but then I don't know. It was always a bit of a mishmash of styles, but they weren't so much songs. But I loved writing music, and I always that was what I wanted to go into. But I hadn't really started writing songs, and then it was when I was at uni that I really started writing.
Oh, really? So fairly recently.
More songs,
Would you describe yourself as a folk singer? Because I was listening to your most recent album, and obviously there is folk influence there. There's quite a lot of electric guitar as well, isn't there? Which I wasn't actually expecting.
No, it's I sort of describe it as like alternative folk because it's. I feel like there's a lot of songs on there that maybe you wouldn't say are folk at all.
There's some really cool sort of gritty guitar riffs, aren't there?
Yeah. No, I sort of love all sorts. I think I've always sort of gravitated towards folk through like what comes naturally to me as a like. I think it suits my
guitar and voice.
Suits my voice. I think that's kind of my like happy place.
Okay.
But then I also love sort of more rocky stuff in terms of guitar. And I like playing in bands. So
well, the influences have combined perfectly on that album. Tell us about some of those early influences. You mentioned the folk group when you were really young. When you started listening to music as, say, a teenager, who were you listening to?
Well, initially, I would always listen to what my parents listened to. I guess as a family, we loved stuff like, we loved bands like Muse. We used to listen to Muse a lot. That's very different.
Yeah, very different.
My dad's always loved sort of like classic rock stuff, and then I think it was like my personal music taste really kind of became a thing, I think, when I started learning the electric guitar.
Yeah.
'Cause, my first sort of hero there was actually Jimi Hendrix. I was like a
Yeah.
massive
You
Jimi
know what? I was
Hendrix
going to
fan.
say it, but I didn't. But some of the riffs in that album, there was one song, I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but it was a very Hendrixy riff. I don't
It's
know if you,
probably next to me.
it might
That's
be that one.
no, so I loved stuff like Jimi Hendrix, Dire
Yeah.
Straits. Yeah, so that
Lots of
that's
proper guitar music then, as well
yeah,
as the folk and the classic rock.
yeah. When I got to uni, and then was putting a lot more time into starting
Yeah.
to write my own music. I think that was where like the folk influence kind of came back, and
Interesting. Yeah.
and then I got really into because I hadn't previously heard of people like Nick Drake and John Martin, but
Yeah.
they're now like kind of my biggest
No, I can definitely see
influences,
that.
and that's kind of I think the reason I like them is because there's in a similar way to my albums a little bit of a mix. It's like they they sort of started as like folk singers, but then
Yeah.
increasingly like they would blend in elements of rock and sort of jazz. And
No, you can definitely hear that. Yeah. What did you study at uni? Was it music related?
I did music and sound recording, so
Okay. So
so
that enabled you to, because you home produced your album, didn't you?
yeah.
So that must have enabled you to do that like a breeze, really.
Yeah. I mean, I think I've got quite good at using like getting by with like fairly limited
Yeah,
stuff, really.
I wanted to build on that. What do you actually use? Because over there, I've got Logic, a Rode mic, and a interface. I don't know if you can see it just there.
Yeah.
Could I record an album using those simple bits of gear?
Yeah, I'm sure you could. I mean, like, there's so much you can do with a laptop now that it's kind of maybe you'd want like a MIDI keyboard as well.
Oh, there you go, over there.
There you go. Full
What do you have in your
album
studio?
setup. I do have quite a lot of like bits of guitar because I've always been into guitar and like
Yeah.
effects pedals and stuff. I mess around with stuff like that a lot. Um, I've I've upgraded. I used to have a small like 2 input interface,
Okay.
but I got a like a big sort of 8 input one.
What's the benefit of that? Is it like
Um,
mainly like drums and you can record?
Just quite yeah. So the big
Yeah.
part of the last album was getting my friend Freddie Rose to play drums on the songs, and that interface was actually like so valuable because I could just whack it in a backpack with my laptop, and then I was borrowing a set of drum mics from a man that I work for, and literally with those things we could just set up in his bedroom and
Yeah.
record. Yeah,
I think
drums.
drums probably the hardest bit that I struggle with. Also, I got that kit over there.
Yeah.
Sorry if you're not watching this podcast, but that is absolutely terrible. And you couldn't do that with one mic, of course. It would sound utterly dire. So that's the bit I struggle with, and I often end up going to see a producer, mainly because of drums.
My friend Freddie's a fantastic drummer, and he's also like, he's actually doing the course that I did in New
Yeah.
York currently.
Okay.
He's also a very good sort of recording engineer. Like
Yeah.
he's very good at like knowing what he kind of wants it to sound
Yeah,
like.
sure.
And then, but
Sure.
I mean, I've recorded plenty of stuff in less than ideal.
Yeah.
None of my spaces are really treated. I've got a friend who's got a really sort of more professional studio space, which I've had fun in before. But yeah, most of the time I sort of get by. Stuff like vocals, I used to record them up in my room, and I found like they tend to sound pretty good in there because it's actually like you
Yeah.
got
Okay.
loads of stuff like beds in there,
Yeah.
which
Sure.
deadens it a lot
Okay.
more.
Yeah.
Whereas
A bit
my
more than my sheet hanging against the wall.
my room, which is currently my studio, it's nice because it's got everything I need in there, and it's all sort of in
Yeah.
fairly nice places most of the time. But the actual sound of that room is actually probably worse than my
Yeah.
bedroom was.
So you got quite a simple setup, really, compared to a full studio.
I've got a lot of bits of equipment which I like
Yeah.
using, which I feel like is probably more than you need like you could use just a laptop
Just
and
okay.
an
Yeah.
interface to get pretty far. I suppose it depends a little bit on what kind of music you're making.
Okay, tell us a bit about the album Truth. Like, was there a theme behind it? Or was it a concept album? Is there a theme? Or did you just kind of start writing and it's a collection of songs?
There's almost a theme, but it was kind of more of a happy accident than
Okay.
by design.
That's often the way it is, isn't it?
Yeah, I think. Well, the word just features in a bunch of the songs. Like looking back, I mean, you don't want to get all like sort of. You can
Analytical
start to
about it,
get
yeah.
like really like university project about it, where
yeah,
you
yeah.
kind of like are trying to find all these themes in your songs that probably you didn't really think about at the time, but it's just kind of worked out that way.
Yeah.
No,
that's really interesting.
There's sort of truth in different ways. There's like truth in the sense that like how you look at other people. There's truth in there's a song about kind of thinking about sort of AI and modern technology and where there may be lack of truth in there. There's stuff about sort of people abusing power in politics and maybe their lack of truth.
So it is actually a running theme.
So there's good truths and bad truths. It's like a word.
What's your favourite song from the album?
I like Retina Pain, which is the one about the sort of AI and technology.
Okay, interesting. Really interesting.
And that's actually like one of the more folky, simple ones. I quite like that.
Yeah. Tell me about the writing process for this album. Did you often start just guitar and voice, no idea what was going to come out and just humming and playing? Or did you have that theme of AI? Did you sit down with that idea and write from that?
I'm normally one to kind of write a bit of guitar and then just think of something that I often actually, when I start a song, I don't even think about what it's going to be about. I just start writing words that sound good, and then it becomes about something.
Well, I remember Bon Iver, he was like, his early recordings of that, what's the album called? Forever. You know that one? That he recorded in the cabin.
I haven't really listened to it enough.
Yeah, well, it's a great album, but he was just sort of playing the guitar and kind of got the words from the mumbling.
Yeah.
So is that kind of a similar take? Not the mumbling, but like you're just saying random words as you write and trying to form a meaning out of those.
Yeah, I think sometimes it's like that. Sometimes I start writing on paper and I just come up with a line that sounds like a nice line, and then you come up with another line that
works and
links to that line. I think I do a mixture of both, and I think that's the sort of nice thing about songwriting is there's so many different ways.
There's no right way.
Yeah, and sometimes like some of the songs on there are much more like the ones which are more sort of traditional folky. I tend to write them just sitting down from a guitar, whereas like some of the other ones, because I love recording and creating sounds, that's actually like a big part of the music process.
Yeah,
and I start like building up some kind of arrangement before I've actually like written any like vocals.
Yeah.
So you kind of have most of the song before you actually start.
Yeah, really interesting.
Adding words.
Yeah. Well, let's hear one. Go on, play us a song. Your favourite one?
This one is called Retina Pain. Choosing words to post it online, overthinking what they are, opinion, truth, the how, when and why, or the disingenuous part of a lie. An age that affords us to send step ready, we know to what end. The effect upon stranger and friend, their feelings. Nameless faces, please enter your pin. Subscribe your emotions to my pseudonym. Algorithm, I hunt you with. You hook me like a drug and cause me to sin. And I cannot begin to explain the hours I've wasted in vain. Eyes glued to your retina, pain I am losing. Da, 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 Meanwhile, outside the world is alive. There's so many beautiful things here to find, but to see them for ourselves would take too much time. So we reach for our pockets or ask an AI. Reality's becoming fake. In our search for perfection, we ache. Oh, and surely it was a mistake to go. Nature, humanity is a corner I'm willing to find. This technological feeling.
Beautiful. Absolutely amazing. Can you play us 2 verses of Truth or something? Just a short snippet of Truth.
Song.
Yeah. How many chords are even in that song?
Well,
Because when you did that bit that goes up there, that was must be like
open tunings are quite nice for that. Like you can, I quite like it.
Yeah, take your time because we can't add it. It's all chill. This is the perfect pitch coming in again.
I guess the fun thing about open tunings is like you don't really know any shapes or anything. You
no,
kind
definitely.
of just
It's
work
weird,
it
isn't
out.
it? Yeah.
So it doesn't really feel like it kind of takes away the feeling that
It's
you
really
need
good
to
for
be like
songwriting. It's
good at guitar almost.
You have to
like-
literally work out by ear, don't you?
Yeah.
You have no idea what the next chord's going to be.
Your own thing.
So what tuning are you in now for this one?
This is just standard, but I've slightly lower.
Oh, okay.
Do you want me to do that one?
Yeah, please. That'd be great.
Never taller than when we are kneeling down. seems contrary unto the gospel that's from around the town. Oh, there's a time and a place to fight. All evil's armies are gathered to rise. But love reaches out to all those who are needing and hearts that were bleeding right. Know this true life, as fresh as dew. Old and stone, yeah. Long ago, at a time, at a time, oh, and always softer, always a whisper that's half-rooted in. It starts as ripples, that's how the waves of your healing begin. Oh, and I know you may think me insane, but I'm ready to carry that name. Whilst love reaches out to those who are needing and hearts that were bleeding right now. Oh, that's true that as fresh as dew, cold and stone, yeah. Long ago.
Awesome. So is that just the E tuned down a bit? Is it all the way down to D?
Yeah,
All
so
the way
it's
down-
just like standard tuning, but it's
Just
very lower.
high, yeah, that sounds really cool.
Do it. It's just makes it sound kind of rich.
Yeah, no, it sounds great. Have you got any exciting plans coming up? Any gigs? Any new songs?
I'm sort of in a
In between stage?
finding my feet again
Yeah.
stage at the moment.
Yeah.
I think. But I spent today actually working on something, and I think that was actually one of the first times recently that I've been working on something and been like excited by it.
Okay.
So,
Well, I can't wait to hear it. Tell people where they can find you on social media or YouTube or wherever, and what the album is called again, just so they can go and listen to it.
so you can find me on Instagram as Robin, like the bird, and then Torbitt, which is Torbitt. And I have a website called robintorbittmusic.com, and that's got like links to everything. And my album is called Truth.
On Spotify, Apple, all of those places.
Yeah, it's on all streaming, or if you want to buy it, you can buy it on Bandcamp or through my website. I've also got my CDs, which
I've got one.
yeah, I know. I'm honoured. You can buy my CD through my website or my Bandcamp, or from me if you see me in real life.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I think that's all of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, amazing. Robin, it's great to talk to you.
Thank
Thanks
you
so much.
Thanks for having me.